Hey, what's up guys? Got another video here for you, and this one is on the Boker Kwaiken, and figured I'd do a little unboxing for you. I haven't done one of those in a while. I'm gonna say that I'm not the biggest fan now of unboxings, because watching videos like I'm sure you guys watch as well, we'll open this up while I'm talking. There's the paperwork. It seems like I see unboxings now, and I just skip ahead about 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 30 seconds, however long it takes to get to where the knife comes out. I mean, who really cares about the USPS postal box and the poly bag mailer, bubble mailer that's in? I mean, maybe this is cool seeing this box or whatever, but all that other stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, let me just see the knife already. At least that's how I feel. And in the beginning, I was doing a lot of unboxings, so I'm kind of glad that I realized that. And look, we're at the knife and it's under a minute, so there you go. So this is the Boker Plus Kwaiken titanium flipper. Just came out recently. I'll throw some stuff of pictures or maybe a quick video of this up on my Instagram account so you can see it too. But you can see the nice packaging it came in. This is I believe this is a magnet here. Yeah, there's a magnet right there. So it comes with a little bag, get that out of the way, and the paperwork. So yeah, this is, checking it out, really sleek. I mean, this is, obviously based off of, flips well, based off of the Kwaiken fixed blade Japanese style knives, and then designer Lucas Burnley, who, if you look here, come on, there's his Maker's Marker logo. Lucas Burnley took that idea and turned it into a flipper slash folder knife. This also has the IKBS while we're looking here, and it is the Aussate steel, which we'll get to in a little bit. So he took that and made a custom knife, which looks very similar to this knife, and after doing so, he then sold or worked out a deal with Boker for them to produce that said knife, which they did first in a regular folding knife version where there would have been a thumb disc here and with micarta scales, and then I believe Blade HQ also did a short run of those with orange G10 scales and a larger thumb disc, but there was no flipper. And now there's this version. Well, actually, I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like there's actually a scratch on the titanium here. Let me take it off camera for a second, look at it. Actually get in the light here. Yeah, there's actually a mark right there. You see that? Huh. Well, actually that'll bring me to my next point anyways. Yeah, it looks like there's a light mark here, and then it got a deep nick there. I don't feel anything, but you can see that. I think this is a blasted titanium scale, so I don't think I can actually Scotch-Brite that out because it's not satin finish. But I'll get to, well, that's kind of upsetting. Anyways, yeah, so then from that point, then Boker Plus went and made this, which everyone pretty much wanted because of all the mods being done to the regular folder version, which we have now a final flipper and in titanium. So this looks very similar to the custom version or custom made version that Lucas actually does. And I actually met Lucas at the New York Custom Knife Show and got to handle a bunch of actual real custom Burnleys, and I have to say this looks, I mean, the look and design of this is pretty much spot on to what he was doing. I mean, he might be doing some different blade finishes, and obviously he can do different scales, but I mean, as far as like pretty much if you get a standard, and there's nothing standard about it, but a standard custom Kwaiken from Lucas, this is pretty much how they look, or start off, I would say. I mean, they really did get it spot on. I mean, the coolest thing about this is how the blade totally conceals into the handle, how slim it is, but that you have so much blade really when you open it up. So cool stuff. I'm going to try and keep this vid under 10 minutes too, because I've already, when I ordered this, have already contacted Esteban at Thai Survival, and I'm going to be sending this out to him, and he's going to do his custom work on the scales here. So I'm actually not too bummed about this scratch that's on here, because this whole titanium scale is going to get refinished and anodized by him. But that still kind of sucks whenever you get something that actually has a mark on already. And maybe probably in production this got nicked or something. Someone else got, like another knife got plopped on top of it or something. But that is kind of annoying. Give you a look at this blade a little bit. I showed you on the other side the IKBS. And getting back to the steel, this is AUS-8. The steel that the first Bokers, the regular folding ones, came on was AUS-8 as well, and I believe those were in a satin finish. But when this version was first announced by Boker that they were going to do a flipper version and do it all in titanium, or titanium top scales, I believe they had stated they were going to do 440C as the steel instead of AUS-8 for this run, but in the end it came out as AUS-8. I would have liked that. Not that there's really a huge difference, at least to me, or what I've noticed, between 440C and just something on the blade there, 440C and AUS-8. But it would have been cool to have two different steels between the two blades, especially because I know there's a number of guys that own the Kwaiken regular folders already, or that have had mods done. So I just think it would have been nice if they had done a different steel on this one, just for variety. But this one is stonewashed. You can see here the serial number. 205. And that's nice. That's a pretty low number. I mean, I'm sure they're producing a lot of these, so 205. I've seen guys with numbers as low as, I want to say, like 6 or 8 or 30 or something like that. But hey, I'm happy with 205. That's fine. Titanium backspacer here. And then they did do a little difference on the pocket clip. The original Boker one was just a solid one, and I like the little cutout here. Gives a little character to it. Very easy to disengage the lock bar. Very easy to flip. This one, you probably can slip off of this, but this really is designed exactly how Lucas's design on his flipper is. So people have said to do jumping, or that maybe even like it would be better if it was reversed. But this is based on his design, so Boker just went with his design. And all you have to do is pretty much push down on it. That's the trick. You don't want to really rock back or light switch it or anything. You probably can get it to go that way, but more often than not, you'll probably slip off of it. And if you have been flipping a number of other flippers and you pick this one up, you do have to give a little bit more thought to make sure you just do a straight press down. And it's right there. But you can see the lockup on here. You know, great for a production knife. And the other thing too, is that they did do a swedge on the back here. And just so you can see how it looks in the handle. You know, not dead center, but pretty well centered. Not ridiculously off like some of the old Bokers used to be. And the other Boker that I have, the Federal, based on the GTC design, has been holding up fine since I got it. So really good stuff, at least those two knives that I've had. That one and then this one now. I mean, besides getting it with a scratch on it. Let's take a better look at this swedge. I thought I saw something on it. Yeah, this swedge is not really symmetrical. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this one is, this side, the right side here, is definitely more off of it than the left side. You can see how it kind of sags in a little bit. Hopefully it stays focused. Nope, it's not going to. Maybe if I hold it this way. Try not to cut my hand open. You guys see that? How like it's not exactly a triangle coming in? Yeah, it's same on the top. If you can see here, it's cut in more than on here. So that's something that you get when you get a production China version. There is the not the exact level of detail as a custom, because the swedge should be pretty easy to do. Not easy, but I mean you should be able to line it up so that it does it evenly on both sides. But other than that, I mean, it is a little bit heavy on the heavy side, but once again it's titanium scales and a steel liner. grip wise, you know, it's a long handle on here too. It's a long blade. I'll put the specs in the bottom, but it's, you know, fills the hand. Right here is nice, definitely locked in, and then the weight, you know, helps it too. Just, you know, you have that heft in your hand. So when I get this back from Esteban at Thai Survival, I will show you guys how that looks, and hopefully that'll, in that process, it'll clean up that stuff on the front scale. But pretty cool thing. Let me just show it compared to the Boker GTC Federal. And you can see definitely more length on the Burnley, on the Kwaiken. And then I'll show you one more. Here's the Spyderco Southern. So Southern a little bit closer in length. Obviously the Federal, the thickest one. But once again, here's one that's a 440C blade and dual titanium frame lock. This one being dual titanium scales, but a liner lock with steel liners and AUS 8 steel. And on average, you're looking at this being around 125, this being around 150. So I guess maybe 440C is slightly more expensive than AUS 8, and that because it's such all titanium and no steel liner, and there's a little bit less titanium and more steel liner, although there is the titanium backspacer, there's your difference in costs. Also in both machining, that amount of steel and titanium versus steel and titanium on here. Who knows? But just to give you an idea on that. But hope you guys enjoyed the vid. Oh, let me do a quick cut test with this for you too. And a little puncture test, because this point is pretty pointy and sharp. Alright, so you guys have a happy holiday. This was filmed just before Christmas, and enjoy the new year if I don't get another vid up before then. Thanks a lot. Good night.